us.
All right, 2 years in a row in OT. What do you say to the guys after a loss like that?
You got to talk about how well we played, how great a season we had. You know, it's tough. You know, there's only one team that can walk out of here with a state championship and a victory every year, and you know, one bounce of a puck, or one good pass, or just the inside of a post versus the outside of a post, and we're walking out of here with a championship. So, you know, we talked about how great a season we had, and both teams should be walking out feeling like they're winners, but it's, you know, it's not how the game's played, and it's hard to take right now.
Take me through the last breakaway. What did you see? Is that on their part? Is that about as perfectly as you can run that transition break?
You know, we got caught with 3 guys down low, and we didn't chip one of their guys off, and they came out of the zone with speed, and it was basically a 4-on-2, and they tic-tac-toe the puck pretty good, and you know, Dylan did his best he could to try and keep the initial shot out, and obviously Budeman is an unbelievable player. Could have shot the puck right there into our goalie, and that would have been it. And he made the great play and slid it over to the guy looking at the open net. So I mean, great player with great puck, the stick on his, the puck on his stick at the game time, and he found the right play.
Talking about Budeman, talk a little bit about what makes him so hard to defend, and where he ranks in your eyes in players in the division.
Obviously he's one of the top 3 or 4 forwards in our division, and I think in the state. I mean, I think Division II high school hockey this year was pretty close to being right comparable with the Division I level. I mean, we had some prolific scorers between Zach Fox and Sean Leahy and Greg Budeman. I think any one of those, and then you look at the Concords, Kyle Marceau. I think all 4 of them match up together. So, Greg made a great. You got to take your hats off. He made a great pass over when he could have taken the shot. Dylan might have smothered that puck up. He'd been doing a good job all night long of smothering for shots. And he made their smart play, slid it over, and he let somebody else be the ultimate hero, but he made the play of the game.
Coach, you mentioned Sean. He's maybe the most prolific scorer in all of New Hampshire hockey this season. Can you just talk a little bit about his performance this year and what's meant to your team?
Yeah, I mean, Shawnee absolutely stepped up his game this year. Coming into the season in 2 years of high school hockey, he only had 23 points, and obviously he's leaving this year with 50-something points. He's been our go-to scorer all year long, but all 3 guys in that line take credit. Obviously, Craig Goddard stepped up his game today. Was our goal scorer. Sean, unfortunately, was a little under the weather. He'd been battling a cold for the last week, and socked some strength out of him. He gave everything he could, but I think he was just a half a step behind what his typical style would be, and Craig picked up the load, but I mean, Sean had one of the best high school hockey seasons I've ever coached in my career.
What do you say to Sean and the rest of the outgoing seniors now at the end of the season?
You got to hold your head up high. You're the most successful team in Oyster River history. 3 state championship finals in 4 years. It's it's hard to say. I mean, unfortunately, I would have hoped that we punched through this year, and Coach Walsh could have waited his turn. I've waited my turn, and our team has waited our turn. But it just wasn't in the dice tonight. But it wasn't from lack of effort. It wasn't from lack of ability or lack of talent. It's 1 goal game in overtime in high school hockey. I mean, they could have been sitting over there, watching us celebrate as well as we are doing for them.